What's going on, everyone? Lauren Sisler here with AL.com, Cole Kublick with SEC Network, as well as Three Man Front on Jocks Radio. Thanks so much for joining us as we head into week 15 of the college football season, Cole. But we're looking ahead to 2020 with Auburn.
Already?
Obviously, yeah. Why not, right? So we don't really know where they're going to line up in terms of the bowl schedule yet. So we're going to jump ahead to 2020, kind of take a look at what they have coming back that you really like, and then what are some areas they're going to have to plug that will be critical. And we know one of those, obviously, defensively, when you talk about guys like Marlon Davidson, Derek Brown, and company. But with that being said, Cole, let's just start with the positives. What are the things that you feel Auburn has that's really strong coming back?
I think quarterback with experience. How many teams in the SEC would love to have a quarterback that has started an entire season for them, understands the scheme, knows the offense, knows the personnel, and by the way, has his best target returning as well with Seth Williams. Mm-hmm. So I think that combination is extremely valuable that's going to be back. And I think there are some things that can easily be improved. Bo Nix, his patience in the pocket can easily be improved. Not relying as much on Seth Williams at times can easily be improved. But I do think that there needs to be a B and a C receiver step up. Who are going to be those other options? You and I talked about it going into the Georgia game a couple weeks ago. Who else was going to step up? We saw Sal Cannella make a big catch.
Right.
We've seen a couple other guys the last few weeks have a catch or two in certain games, but Seth Williams is going to need somebody to help take a little bit of heat off of him, because my main concern, it's easy to say Marlon Davidson and Derek Brown, and those guys are phenomenal. You're talking about Derek Brown, a top 5 defensive player in school history, and he's going to be gone. But I think on the offensive line is where I would probably be most concerned. And because this is a team that will have some guys back in the secondary, majority of the linebackers will return, so you'll at least have that to build around. And some of that defensive line depth got to play meaningful snaps down the stretch. You saw Truesdale, you saw Miller, you saw different guys get reps down the stretch, so they've played in some big games. There hadn't been a lot of other offensive linemen that have played. Now, Nick Brahms will be back at center, but you lose your other 4 starters, and I haven't seen 2-3 guys that are sitting there just ready to be plugged in. Now, part of that is you don't see the reserve offensive linemen as much as you do defensive linemen because they just don't roll in and out. But even in times that I've seen the next wave of guys in sort of blowout games, like in the Samford game, in the Kent State game, you don't see too many guys that just look like they're going to be ready. I think Austin Troxell is a unique name to watch. He could be a guy that you plug in right there at right tackle. He had a chance to start this year, or at least be the swing tackle this year. He's someone who could absolutely help. I think Rodarius Ham is a guy that's probably ready to play. But I don't know if left tackle is a big concern of mine. I don't know who you plug in there and who's going to be the guy there. I expect Auburn to look at the graduate transfer market and see if they can find someone who could come in and play right away. But that, to me, really, the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball have to be concerning. But I'm actually a little bit more concerned about the offensive side, because I've at least seen what's next on the defensive side, and they have some guys that have experience and have played a little bit. They're not going to be Marlon and Derek, but I do think that the offensive side probably a little bit more concerning for me.
All right, so, and wrapping things up, when you look at what Auburn put together against Alabama in the Iron Bowl, certainly an emotional win, a physical win, kind of that moment for Gus Malzahn and this team. How do you think that translates in terms of what, and again, it'll be a completely different team, but how much momentum do you think carries over into the next season?
Well, it has to help. It'll help in recruiting. You think about the recruits that were there in that environment, and if you want to make fun of the fans storming the field, that's fine, but I bet the recruits probably thought it was pretty cool. And they're sitting there on the field. And here come all
worth
these
that
fans.
$250,000 from a recruiting standpoint.
But just being in that environment was extremely valuable. Being able to say we won the Iron Bowl, carry that into next year, a chance to get to 10 wins in a bowl game, a chance to really finish maybe in the top 6 or 7 teams in the country if you can go get a win in a bowl against a nice opponent, depending on what happens at the top of the rankings in the next few weeks, next month. So I think all of that carries into next season. The experience at quarterback, a big play receiver, you got some experience at tailback, and Kevin Steele keeps that defense intact as far as scheme and what they're running and how they're running it. There's a lot of value for Auburn heading into 2020.
All right, thanks so much, Cole. Cole Kublick, check him out on Twitter, Cole Kublick. He's also on Instagram. He's got a pretty cute family, and, he's rocking some cool kicks.
Pretty cute. That's okay.
They're really cute. All right, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Our SEC Insider for all your Auburn Tiger updates. You can visit us on